And I know I am in the minority, but let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs versus Bijan Robinson. Jahmyr Gibbs is the consensus number one. And then depending on what kind of league it is, depending on your draft, Bijan Robinson, some people are putting him at one, some people are putting him at two, some people are putting him at three, with Jamar Chase as the other person in that conversation. But we're just talking about running backs right now. Jahmyr Gibbs has an ADP of 1.6, and I guess let's bring up the ADP page. We might as well. 1 second. And everything we're talking about is in PPR today. So right now, Jahmyr Gibbs has an ADP of 1.6, trending down slightly. Bijan Robinson is 2.5, with Jamar Chase being at an even 3 there. Do you have a specific lean on which player you specifically like? If you are given the choice at first overall and you have to choose between Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, who are you going with?
It's hard. You're right. I'm going to preface this by saying this is probably not a wrong choice, but I think I'm leaning more a little bit towards Bijan Robinson, right? And that's not, doubting the talent of Jahmyr Gibbs. He's, uber talented, and shout out to all the draft analysts who said that it was an F pick when the Lions picked him at 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
But to me, like we, so I guess I don't know if this is going to be a great explanation, but we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs do what he's done in somewhat of a split, whether that be 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 as his career is kind of protruded on. Um, I worry about his usage, right? His durability, usage, and all that. Like we haven't seen him take on a full workload, and really ever, even in college, to some degree, where he's getting 30 carries a game or 35 touches a game. Which again, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if he is getting that, then he's bound to produce, right? But given that, our team's more likely to key in on him, is it easier to play against, play his run a little bit more? On top of that, the Lions have, one of the best collections of skill players, right? We've seen, we've seen Gibbs, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Sam Laporta all going within like top 6 rounds. I mean, that's a lot of mouths to feed in an offense. Where you look at the Atlanta Falcons, and we've seen Bijan Robinson carry the load these last 2 years and absolutely dominate. On top of probably not going to have great quarterback play this year, so it feels like there's a lot of runs, a lot of dump offs, a lot of let's just get the ball in Bijan Robinson's hands and let him run. You look at the teams. Detroit is probably a better team than Atlanta, but I think that's been the case in both these players' careers, and Bijan is still dominated. So I don't know. It feels like I'm in the minority, but I think it's like I don't know why Bijan would not be taking one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. So if you go check out my rankings, I do have Bijan Robinson as my first overall player. And I guess the controversial thing, if that isn't enough, I have Gibbs at 3. I have Jamar Chase ranked above.
Yeah,
Because of what Chase has done. I think he's super steady. But to your point, I don't think there's a bad pick between the three. But yeah, is the Lions' offense going to be better? Yes, it is. The thing that I think is that everyone's missing, or maybe just making up, both of these running backs lost their counterpart in the backfield, right?
yeah,
Seemingly the vulture in the backfield. Everyone's like, okay, Brian Robinson is now with Bijan Robinson, and he's probably going to be the short yardage guy now. And no one's doing the same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs, because David
right,
Montgomery's out of town. I'm telling you, they're not giving Jahmyr Gibbs the goal line work. They're not going to do
right,
it. It's Isaiah Pacheco right now. And by the way, if Isaiah Pacheco is not healthy, they'll go get somebody.
yeah.
The Lions are expected to contend this year. They're going to go get somebody. They're going to go get James Conner. They're going to go get one of these other guys. It doesn't matter
Feels
who
like
it is. They're not going to run their Ferrari into a brick wall.
it feels like it might be a good Kareem Hunt landing spot for goal line work.
100%. 100%. That's a good call. But taking a look at this, so this is the pay dirt stat here, and I'm just looking at red zone usage right now. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs is a workhorse of sorts, right? Like he gets a bunch of work, and he got 67 touches or opportunities in the red zone last year, which is a ton, the third most amongst running backs. But looking at his goal line share, 26%, which is absolutely nothing. And then 0 end zone targets. Bijan Robinson's not great either, but he's still at 32%. He has one end zone target, and I think he's going to get more of a red zone bump this year with Stefanski than what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get without David Montgomery personally. That's just where I personally fall. Other things, though, like I think the Falcons' offense is going to get better this year, whereas the Lions' offense was really good last year. I don't think the Lions' offense gets better this year. I think they'll probably be about the same. I don't think they're going to get worse. But I think the Falcons' offense is going to get better. That's going to create more opportunities for them. Last year, the Lions had the fourth most red zone trips, which I guess I can show you as well on here. Let's go to the team opportunity index. So just looking at red zone trips, the Lions had the fourth most. They're tied for the fourth most red zone trips last year, and the Falcons are down here at the 11th fewest. Like, I think Falcons are going to bump this up to 3.2, 3.3, which is going to put them around Bears level, Chargers level. Yeah, they'll be average. And just being average is going to make Bijan Robinson that much more valuable. And then, oh, by the way, Drew Petzing's the new OC for the Lions. He was the OC for the Cardinals last year. And I'm not stupid enough to say, like, he's going to do the exact same thing with this group of personnel, right? He's not going to do that. However, Cardinals passed it 72% of the time in the red zone last year. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Whereas last year, Detroit passed it 55% of the time. I think it's probably going to be a happy medium between that. But Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going to be running the ball the entire time. Part of the reason why the Cardinals threw it so much is because of Trey McBride, right?
Right.
Duh. I don't know, man. Like, Sam Laporte is there. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown, to your point. We got Isaac Tesla, who's a big red zone target as well. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't the number one red zone option for this team. He just isn't. And Bijan, is he the number one red zone option? He might be. He's going to be close. There aren't that. Drake London's a big bodied target. I don't view Kyle Pitts as a close proximity receiving threat, so I don't think he's a red zone guy, but maybe he is. But regardless, I think Bijan Robinson's the best offensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the Falcons are going to use him.
I agree. The way that people are like talking about Jahmyr Gibbs is he's like, and I hate to say it like this because I don't want to discredit Jahmyr Gibbs because he's a very good football player.
Great
it's like
player.
Like his usage is going to be like what we've seen out of Christian McCaffrey when Christian McCaffrey healthy years, and I just don't see it. I don't. I think to your point, Detroit's looking to contend. They're not looking to give the ball to one player and say, "Here, Jahmyr Gibbs, take our whole season." I don't know.
No, like, I understand everyone thinks he's going to take on a bell cow role and absorb everything David Montgomery did, because the entire time Jahmyr Gibbs owners were upset because David Montgomery came in and scored the touchdown. David Montgomery started drives off. He was the early down guy. Just because he's gone doesn't mean the roles change. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't a 25 touch guy. He just isn't. Yeah. And if he is that, I don't think he lasts. I don't think he's going to withstand all of that work. So, I think he's great. Again, I don't think there's a bad pick. I think he has a very good chance to be the number one overall running back in fantasy, but I think Bijan Robinson has a better chance. And I think he's a better football player.
I agree.
And I don't know. I would argue Falcons' offensive line is better than Detroit's offensive line.
It's certainly an argument. It's not like the days of Detroit having the best offensive line are over.
Yeah, that's gone. Penei Sewell might be the best lineman in the NFL, but the rest of the O-line's not great. But also Stefanski's in Atlanta, and I think Stefanski's a really, really good run coordinator.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine that's going to change. And by the way, Stefanski's done it with piss poor quarterback play. So anyone pointing to the Falcons quarterback play saying that's why the Falcons aren't going to be good, no. Like, Stefanski's been here, done that. He's dealt with much, much worse. They're going to be able to run the football just fine. And by the way, they went and got Austin Hooper for that exact reason. He's going to be on the field blocking a shit ton. They're going to be very good. They're going to be very fine running the ball.
Stefanski's won 2 Coach of the Years with the Browns, and talk about the worst quarterback situation of all time.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid of the Saints. I'm not afraid of the Bucs defense anymore. I'm not afraid of the Cardinals or the Panthers defense. They're fine. I'm not afraid of them. So division-wise, I think both of these running backs actually have decent
run
opportunities. But, Yeah, I'm not afraid of that at all. So we both agree Bijan Robinson, who's currently 2.5 ADP, Jahmyr Gibbs 1.6. They're close. We will be doing our draft strategy videos from each spot coming up on the Flurry Sports Fantasy Football YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. But we're both saying we'd actually take Bijan Robinson first overall, which probably means if you got to select your draft spot, you probably don't want to pick number one, right? You'd probably
Right.
want to pick number two.
Theoretically, yeah.
Something to think about as well. That's another little added strategy to that. Anything else you want to say about these two players?
No, I don't think so. I think, I think a lot of people kind of get caught up with in fantasy football with situations and coaching and run styles and play styles, which again, that it's valid. But I think when you just look at it, to your point of, just player versus player, who's the better football player? I think Bijan Robinson is a better football player.
He is. He is. And again, that's not to discredit Jahmyr Gibbs at all.
Right.
He's phenomenal. Um, any team would be very excited to have him. But yeah, Bijan Robinson's ridiculous. He's so good. So it'll take one of those stupid little drone camera videos during the game for everyone to be like, oh yeah, Bijan Robinson's a guy. He's very good.